Okay, oops, getting myself left and right here. Okay, how you doing, guys? A little bit of an interference there somewhere. Just check that going there. Putting back some feedback somewhere. Where's that coming from? Could be my radio mic. That's not too bad. Okay, guys, how you doing? A little bit late, I must admit. Where are we? Let's remember which ones are going. Yeah, so I did say this week I would set up that system so I can show you how I do the actual recording and make my albums. Incidentally, the new album's coming along nicely. Probably got about number 7, 8 tracks to do to finish that one off. And I've done all the pictures, each 10 pictures for each track, 10 wordings, 10 taglines, everything that you need to actually make an album for online. All sorted that way, so that's good. Let's have a look. Yes, that's coming through all right, isn't it? Let's just going to have a quick listen. Yeah, that's lovely and clear. That's good. At least I'm monitoring myself, and now I'm not going to get tufted up with all the cables. It's my homemade system. Basically, it's just the old traditional infrared system that goes onto the headphones. A radio mic that transmits to the transmitter there. So basically, I can do all the walking around here, and everything else is lined up and levelled up nicely. And there you go. So, studio album, let's go on to that other one. So the studio album, yes, I'm making a studio album, another one. Done the first one, volume 1, went down quite well, everyone quite enjoyed that one. This is going to be volume 2. This is now going to be all associated with the WK380. As I say, it's got a bit more power, that one has. A bit more welly like. They're about 2 years difference, like, you know, this one came out in the early 80s, and this one probably come out in 82, somewhere around there, like. It probably wasn't, well, it was a special order, obviously, for Casio, because these were the premium motions of the keyboards. You'd need about 11 grand when you was 1980, I think it was. You'd need at least a special offer to order from Casio factory. You'd need about 11 grand to own one of these, because that's what they was worth them days, like equal to 11 grand. There's 2 grand actually in the 80s. So you need 11 grand to hire this one and that one, probably about 12 grand for this one. Quite expensive keyboards at the time, and now they come very rare. So there was not many about anyway, like in them days. So these keyboards were specially ordered. This one basically is the WK380. And it had the best of everything at the time, like, you know, you've got all the sounds spot on. Not FM sounds, there was, I think there was basically filtered sounds. So best really warmer sounds, actually. Not like the Yamaha DX7. These are the warmer sounds. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Oh, this has got an acapella. Or algorator, or whatever they call them on synthesizers. So yeah, this is the one. And I'm going to actually show you how I actually going to do this, the next track, because actually I've got a little camera set up now that if I take this bit off here, now you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so with this little things working around, moving about, my cursor, you can see it's actually printed itself off and off and off and off into infinity, right down there somewhere. So basically you can see this is the microphone system, and what I've done is I've run every keyboard into my mixer, 12-inch mixer, and what I've done then basically is just simple. I've actually got my cameras down here, so my camera's on this section here. 1, 2, 3. I've got the keyboard one there. I've got the one that's looking at me in a moment, and then I've got this display. And if I click here, then it'll go back to the camera. Okay? So if I take this one off, and then I go here, then it goes to the other camera. So now we've got 3 cameras working, because now I can actually show you how I actually do the other thing. Now then, but what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring this down. I'm going to have to, let's have a look. Can I do it this way? Yeah, Audacity. Here we go. So we bring this one back up again. And now we've got Audacity. I don't know if you can see Audacity on the screen. You probably can actually. Oh God, where's it gone? I'll go back to it again. So this is Audacity. I think you can just about see that, yeah. So this is the program I use for my music to actually do. And I've made it so it's so simple that I can just press R on the keyboard and it will start. It'll start recording straight away. So there's no real thing I have to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the keyboard that I'm going to use for the volume 2 of my studio recordings, do an album on this WK3800. So we're going to press registration 2 and see what brings up there. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going to make it all up myself and then I'll eventually do it like that. So you're watching this and you'll see exactly how I actually do it. So here we go. And there you are. That's all there is to it. Okay, so just going to have a quick listen back to that one. You can see there's a bit of a gap here, so what I'm going to do here, it's just a 3-second gap, a bit too long that, so I'm going to take that off there and immediately just going to press delete on the keyboard. That brings that gap up to 1 second. Now, here, as you can see, if I press play, nice, but I think I'd like to have a fade in there, so I'm going to fade this section here. So I'm going to take from here to about 2 seconds, okay? Now I'm going to bring into the effects and bring down into fade in. And you can see immediately there's a nice little, it's just gone just nicely there, there's just nicely in there, I quite like that. Bring that back a bit. And then we'll just go to the other end because I want that to fade out. So we'll go all the way to the other end. Actually, that has faded out quite nicely, so I might just leave that. Just take a little bit of a gap out here. Press delete. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the song finished. It's as simple as that. I'm just going to take a little trim there. I don't really need to do anything with it because I know the sound levels are just perfect. And you can have a quick listen. I like that, it's come out well. And that's done in real time. Couldn't be any easier. And that's going to be number 2 track. Now what I've got to do is work out what it's going to be called. And then the next project is to get it down to London, to license it, and I can put it on the album. And this actual song will be number 2 on the studio album, track 2. When it's done in real time, no AI, no auto this, auto that. Just me and one keyboard. And it's not a song. Well, it is now, because I've just made it. My own. And you witnessed it. There you go. That's how we do it. It's quite nice, I like that. And the reason I've gone over 2 minutes is because most songs on radio are played 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So we've got to go 3 minutes, over 3 minutes, so it won't read the radio. But that's done with a cello and a viola. No draw system there. I call them digital jigsaws. Yeah, I'm old school, I play them. Couldn't help that. And there you go. That's how I do my albums, as simple as that. There's no auto-tune in there, there's no... I mean, you can go into your effects if you really want and start mucking about and do some things. I mean, when I do my 4-3-2 and stretch things, I use a thing called Paul Stretch. So if I click on that, well, you won't actually do it, actually, because you've got to highlight it. You've got to bring a little section out like that sort of thing. This is basically a free system. It's called Audacity. I use this for all my recordings. And I mean, that's now finished, really. That's all there is to it. That's only how I record. Because everything's set up now, level and everything, and it sounds great every time I record through the mixer and then straight into the computer, into Audacity. There's nothing to it. You can make them too complicated on draw systems and studios and that, and you don't really need it, really. You know, it's just a case of press play and press record and off you go. A bit different to the DJs that press play, because that's just playing. But to actually record, you know, there's an art in that one, really. There's no AI there. So anyway, old traditional musician showed you exactly how I actually make my music. And I've got it, what have we got, 4 minutes there. So now I'll show you exactly how I put it onto the desktop. So all we go into is File, go down to File. Now we've made it, so we need to export it out. So what we're going to do is export it out as an MP3. Click that. I'm going to tell it to go to the desktop, and I'm just going to say SF.2 because it's .track2, and hang on, do 2.1, there you go. And then that will put it in the top right-hand corner once I've saved it. So save it now. Then we just write out these little things here. Name is obviously me, Stephen Francis. Okay, title, I don't know what the title is, so I can't really put anything in there. That will be the next stage, so I'll just put the dot. You always got to put something in these because they'll recognise it that you haven't put anything in it. So if you don't put anything in it, then it's not going to go a lot of good. I'll put another dot there because I can fill that in later once you go into the properties. Once I make the file, then I will have a property system, so I can actually go into the properties and write into the properties. If you don't do that, you don't get a file system, so you can't write into the properties. It is going to be number track 2 of the album. It is now 2026, because this is the first one. The genre is, what would the genre be? That was more like a French waltz, I think, really, a sort of CH. I don't know how to spell that, but we'll probably just put a dot, actually. I can always change this later anyway. comments, no comments really needed, it's just, that's it. Okay, so I'm not going to make a template. I don't need a template because I know exactly how to do it every time, so I can do that. I'm going to go OK. That disappears over there. Now what this is doing is putting it straight onto the desktop. It's making its own new file. And that's it. All I do now is switch off the program, switch off the whole program, and then you just say, do you want to save this? And you say no, because if you've done everything right, it should be on the desktop. So if I bring this down, now we go up here, and it would be this one, I think. Let's just double click on it. So I'm going to get it to play through a MP3 player. I'll double click on that, and we'll see if it's the same song. Sounds good to me. That sounds lovely. Yeah, I like that. That sounded beautiful. And that's all there is to it. You don't need a studio, you don't need to hire anyone up, you don't need AI, you don't need anything like that. You just need to set your studio up perfectly so it's nice and normal working through a 12-channel mixer. All the keyboards in there, so you just level them all off, no problem. And run Audacity, a free thing that you can download. You don't need to use AI, it's a waste of time. And then basically, if I click on this top one, this is my first track. Did this last week. And I did show you, but I didn't have a camera to show you how to do it. But now I have. And that's all there is to it. I mean, I've got two little tracks, two little folders here now. What I will do though is, because I haven't got, I'm going to show you how to actually put these things together. So, okay, we're going to make a new folder. New folder. Now this is going to be the album. So this is basically, what did I say? Stephen Francis. Stephen Francis studio album. STUDIO. I think that's right. Studio album. Studio volume 2, because that's the keyboard which we're doing it today, which is the WK380. The other one was the 3370, so this one's the 380. Okay, so now I've got these two here. I open this up to see I've got a nice blank, so that's okay. Now all I do is grab this one and bring it into here. I'll bring this one into here, open it up, and now I've got two tracks. I'm going to make them bigger actually so I can see what I'm looking at. And there you go, two tracks. So these are the start of the other one. So it's as simple as that. There's no rocket science to it. You don't have to hire people to do it, and that's your music. So I made two tracks, and that's exactly how I make my music. It's easy, it's simple. You don't need to give AI an idea what to do on that. You don't need to do multi-tracks. You know, it's just making it complicated, that is. And you don't need to go to a studio and pay a guy to do it all, because it's just do it in your spare bedroom, what I've done. And that's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. Should we do another one? I'm feeling like doing another one. Okay, let's do another one. So I'm going to go back into Audacity. Well, actually, Audacity's closed down, so I'm going to bring Audacity back up again. Double click. Okay, there you go. Now she's just ready to go. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to just do another one now. Registration 3. Let's see what we got on this one. That's nice, I like that. So I'm just going to see what the auto tracks are on and just go with that. Here we go then. Let's press R and start. There you go, another one done. And that's as simple as it is. I mean, it couldn't be any simpler than that, than making music, is it? And all you got to do is register that music, give it a name, register it down at London PRS. And that's it, really. You know, once you've got 10 done, you give it a name, and then what I do basically is I have my AI that I've trained to recognise me and how I work my music and everything. And what it does, it'll give me it will give me the information about that song. So basically, I'm going to work out a song, or I'm just going to work out whatever it is that I don't know what it can be. It sounded a bit like a Hawaiian flute there, so I might look into something like that. And then I'll give it to the AI and say, give me information about this, basically, you know, tell me about what this song can represent, and that sort of thing. It'll do all that for me. It'll give me some tags, so all the social media can find me, and all that sort of stuff. So basically, yeah, it'll sort that out. It'll do me some photos. It'll do me the album. Actually, I've done the picture of the album myself. I think with me in the studio. I might even do a picture. If someone gets a CD or a vinyl of this in the future, there will be inlays, and there'll also be openings on the CDs where I'll probably put the picture of the keyboard that I'm playing. So it represents that. So if people really want to know a bit more about this keyboard that I'm playing, all they got to do is buy this album. They'll hear exactly what it can do from the factory resets, the presets that come in there, because I never program anything myself, and work it from there. I just use it with all the electronics on and play by ear, and play it like a conductor, bring things in and that. I mean, if you look at me playing the keyboard, the Tyrus, on Sunday, you see exactly what it is in real time that I play. I bring in different sounds, press buttons to bring in different sounds and take different sounds away and stuff like that. Exactly the same thing here, but mostly because they're not so technical as the techniques, they are more manual. So there's a bit more work involved in this one. But no, that's exactly as you heard there. That will be on the album. This will be track 3. So here we go again then. Let's go all the way back to the front. Just going to have a listen to it and see what we think. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so first of all, I've got to do is take about this section out and press delete. Now we got to do from here to about 2 seconds in, and we're going to do a quick fade in. So I'm going to fade this one in. Immediately you can see the actual line going down like that. Come out here. Right on the end is a nice little finish, so I'll probably not even bother with that. I'll just yeah, like that, okay. So what I'm going to do is just chop that little end off there. Okay. And we'll just go all the way back to the front. Everything looks okay, it's not over spiking. So what I mean is over spiking is basically, if you're listening on a mixer, like you're watching on a mixer, the input, you'll see a little peaking light. And what that is if you look into here where my cursor is, you probably see these things bouncing up and down and going to different colours. Going into the yellow is not too bad, and bouncing out to the red is okay. That will give you the area right up to the edge here. So when they're in the red, these are going right to the edge, and that's called clipping. So you're actually clipping with the sound, and you're actually going to make it a bit more distorted if you go too high there. So the idea is to keep this nicely where it is at the moment. If you start mucking about with reverb on top of that, and you'll bring these little these signal lights down into closer proximity, real close together, tighter, which means you'll lose a little bit of sound, so then you'd have to boost it back up a bit. So it's best really if you can get a good keyboard that goes straight into the mixer, good mixer. I use a Behringer. I think it's a Behringer or Behem, one of them. Never let me down, brilliant keyboard, brilliant 12-inch mixer input. Pre-mixes the sounds. God's sake, Steve. Yeah, okay, it goes into the sounds. And what it does is it amplifies the sound into Audacity. Audacity comes in and does the actual recording on a dead sort of sound. And that's what you get. So, you know, there's nothing to it really. It's exactly as I've just done. You get yourself a Audacity, get yourself a mixer, put your keyboard in the mixer, level it off so you're just sort of bouncing into the red. So you bring your knobs up. I can't show you a camera on this one at the moment because it's over there. On the sliders, you'll put your input on your keyboard, and you'll bring your sliders up to that. Now, normally there's a little marker on there that says O, okay? Slide it up to O, okay, and just leave it there, like, because that's going to be okay. On the top, right over where you actually plug in the actual plug, there's a little thing there that's called clip and gain. Now, play something on the keyboard or just let it run. And then just all you've got to do is bring your gain up till it peaks a little red, but then take it back to the yellow. So if it will just peak into the yellow and just saying gain, that's your level that you want. Not too loud, not too thing. And these will give a nice little signal along here. Just exactly what we've got here, like I've just got it nicely, it's not too much, not too loud, and it's coming through lovely. On the Audacity, you want MME, which is the host, which is basically you're pulling the actual signal in from your mixer. Just here, the microphone settings, you want microphone, USB, audio, and that is basically the mixer, because everything's coming from the mixer, you see, everything is running in the mixer, and it goes a USB straight into the computer, simple as that. I'm running the 2-channel system because I'm actually running everything through the headphone sockets on the keyboards. That means it's running into a stereo, into the mixer and the stereo out to here. So you get exactly the same sound as what it would be a stereo. And then your output here would be your sound mapper, which basically is you just go into your stereo or something, or your output of some sort. I'm using the headphone socket. Well, actually, I'm using. I ain't using anything really. I'm just using it straight onto the computer at the moment because I'm monitoring myself through the mixer of the headphone socket that runs through to my headphones that I've got on my head, which are the cordless ones that runs onto the bass unit. And it's as simple as that. So let's have a listen to it then, shall we, guys? Remember, all played in live. You heard it. It sounds clear to me anyway. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch that off. I'm happy with that. That's good enough for me. So that really can be the next one. So here we go again. Then we're going to just export this back onto the desktop. Export it as an MP3. I usually do an MP3 and a wave, and I've showed you how to do the wave. That's not a problem. I think that's an easy one. So just back, I'm going to go SF.3, which is track 3. We're going to put it in the desktop, because as you can see now, the top here, this says desktop, so this is all the stuff that's in the desktop. We press, I'm going to pop it in at 2200 and 2600 kps. Joint stereo, which is fair enough, mine's. And there you go. So it gives me all the information here. I'm going to say Stephen Francis. Okay, the title, obviously, we know what the title is, but I've got to put a dot in there, otherwise it'll keep asking me. Put another one, little dot in there. I mean, you can put these in later, that's not a problem. No, I know it's going to be throughout track 3, so that's easy enough. I know that's going to be 2016. And the genre, obviously, we know what that can be, so I'm just going to do that later. Click OK. There she goes. She's going, gone. Okay. And then now all I have to do is shut this program down completely, not save it, because you've actually just transferred it. Do you like to save this program? No, because otherwise you're going to get 2. So there you go. And now if we look at the top corner here, there it is, number 3. So now actually it's made itself as an MP3. I can double click on it and ask it an MP3 player on the computer to play it, as it will be the finished article. With a little bit of enhancing, obviously. Sounds good to me. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, well there you go. That's how that works, or not. Okay. And we're back. Oh, we're back in a few seconds. I'm just going to see if we come back or not. Just going to go back into Audacity. There we go. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, I've noticed now that when I'm making the music and that, it's not actually playing to you guys. There's me making the music for the studio album, showing you how it's all done. You're seeing it, but you're not hearing it. Might have to work on that one, but you get the idea anyway. I'll probably have to do a write-over, something like that. But anyway, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to put Audacity back up again, because I'm hearing it through the headphones okay. And we'll call 4 tracks tonight. That's it. And then we'll do some real playing, because basically you can hear me when I'm on this camera. And if I go to this camera, you can still hear me, but if I go to Audacity, it must be running through a different program or something. As soon as I shut down Audacity, you can, basically I can hear everything, but you ain't hearing it on the social media. Never mind, we have made strides forward, so that's okay. At least I've got now the ability to show you what I can do with the images. Going back and doing the editing, I could always walk right over the top with the narration, so that's not a problem. But I'm just going to do one more live one, so I will be doing track 4 for the new album. So, I mean, I hope you're enjoying this. It's probably you're not hearing it much, but it will do once it's all done right. So I'm going to go back to Audacity. I'll leave this on so you can see what's going on, and we'll do track 4. So we build up. We have to start up Audacity again. And then we go from here. So you might hear it, you might not, I don't know. But, here we go. I'm going to do number 4. And that's a brass. Okay. This should be fun. Track 4, my God. I mean, within this last half hour, I've probably done 2 or 3 tracks that'll go on that album, and you've seen it. You've seen it happen. Whether you can hear me or not, I don't know. You're probably you can hear me, but you're probably not hearing the music that actually I've just played. Never mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to trim this one up here, and we're going to just go all the way back. Always a good idea to have a listen to the track that you've just done. Otherwise, you might have known that you might have played it, but it didn't go through. So, always a good thing. Always go all the way back. There you go. Now we're going to take that little section off. And I'm just going to have a quick listen to how that comes in. Bit too sharp. Okay, so I'm going to bring here down to 2 seconds, and we're going to fade that one in. I think the end was pretty good, so I'm just going to have a quick listen to the end. I think the end was pretty good, actually. Yeah, don't need to muck about with the end. Okay, all the way back to the front. We're going to take that little section out there. And I think that's it. There's another track finished. Yep, happy with that. So without further ado, what I'll do is I'm going to just export that one. I'm going to take it here, I'm going to give it a name, so it's SF.4, SF.4, track 4. Save. It doesn't take long at all, you see, to make a music. And as long as you register it down London with PRS, have an account with PRS, and say you're a musician and an artist and that sort of thing, you'll have no problem. If you're the author and the artist and you're an independent musician, that you don't have a publisher that does all the thing for you and you don't sign any silly, stupid contracts. You get it all yourself and you get 100% royalties because that's what you are. You are the person, the main man and everything. And that's what I've basically done. So, it's track 4 of this new album. The new album is obviously Vol 2. Vol 2, that's easy enough. It's track 4. The title is I Am the Clue, so I'm just going to put a dot. Fill in the little dot spaces. Obviously, that's an easy one, 2026. And then the genre, obviously, can we work on that one? Okay, there it goes. And this is how you make tracks so quick. But the trouble is, if you sign to a record company, they will keep all these tracks until you're dead, and then they'll release them. Not very nice, obviously, but that's the music business. They'll only use one album a year, and they'll pull anything out of that album to actually make money out of it. They'll have CDs, they'll have T-shirts, they'll have everything. They'll have printed things for T-shirts, they'll have MP3s, you'll have ringtones, you'll have every damn thing off one album. So they'll take all them 10 tracks, and what they'll do is they'll release one song at a time representing this album. So you buy the album, and then they'll take another little track from there. An artist can get so pissed off with the record company because they are actually slaves when they actually sign for these record companies. And I won't do that. I'm staying as I am, independent. Because I've been asked God knows how many times, I'm not doing it. Do you want a world tour? No, I don't want a world tour. You know, so this is the problem with the music business. People are there to try and make money out of you. And if you're daft enough to sign it, you are going to lose out. What is going on here? Oh no, there you go. So bring that one up, and there we go. We're now on Audacity. I'm going to come back to my normal station, and there we go. So now I've showed you exactly how that I use this keyboard to press play. no, press record. Press record, and you've seen how it all works. And that is how it all works. That's the secret of the game. But as I say, I can see why all these artists are getting fed up with the musician being having a manager or this sort of thing, a publisher, because a publisher will give you £30,000, okay? £30,000 sounds great, but that's your starter, okay? You're still going to pay that back. So whatever you do, they still got, because you get £2 million contract. I've had one myself, a £2 million contract. The thing is about that £2 million contract, one, it's not yours, okay? A lot of artists go wrong here. This is not yours, and you will have to pay it back. Big time, okay? It's a loan. What they don't tell you is that they're going to use, ouch, they're going to basically look after you. So when you see these stars come up with these massive, great big motorhomes and things like that sort of thing, that's where your £2 million contract is. It's a loan. It's not actually, it's a loan to help you start out, okay? Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. A lot of people don't make it, but there is some odd ones that do. And they're the very lucky ones. But most of all, they'll have to have a big following before they start. And this is why I get hassled, because I've got 100,000 people following me. So anyway, the thing is that, yeah, artists do call themselves slaves, because if you've made music, okay, you're seeing how fast I can make music, just like that. Press, record, play, stop. That's it. You don't need to faff around with this. But if you're in a publisher, you've heard that artists take about a year to do this and a year to make that and a year to... What a load of bollocks. I'm sorry about that, but a load of bollocks. It doesn't. All you're doing is paying the people at your £2 million contract the money to do these things, which don't really need doing in the first place. They don't need it. I don't agree with it. You don't need it. If you want to make yourself sound like a robot, okay, press a button, then it makes a robot. You don't need to go into a studio and pay thousands and thousands of pounds for a person to flick a few knobs behind a desk, things like that. You don't need it. As a musical artist that knows this trade and do the actual thing, listens to his ears, knows if it's going to be good, knows if it ain't going to be good, but not too mucking about. You want to say, yes, that's okay, that'll do, but not, I've got this bit don't seem right, and that bit don't seem right, and they ain't got that bit right, and they got... this is where people go wrong. They start worrying about things. But just play the bloody thing. You look at it like this is your hobby, this is enjoyment, Play it and enjoy it. Press record, job done, go on. If it sells, it sells. If it don't worry about it. But yeah, the £2 million contract, I was good enough to sign this thing, go off around the world and God knows what. So that will be 18 hours a day going to interviews. You'd have to go through all the problems going right around the world and all this sort of thing. You'd be run into aircraft and things like that. Although the aircraft would be private, but there again, that's about £2,000 an hour, so that won't last long. To hire a private aircraft looks great, but that's the image, you see. It's just for the image. You'll probably get a massive great house for £1 million, but that's not yours. That £1 million house or £2 million house is not yours. That's the thing. It's the company's. You've signed over your life to the company. So don't, I'm trying to help people out here. Don't do it. You're not going to get nowhere near any further by having a publisher than doing it all yourself. I do all right. I do all right over it. I make more money and that sort of thing. But, you know, I can't understand. This is why artists go berserk, because they've got loads of music in them. They want to play the music, want to play loads of music, but the publishers won't do that. They'll stop them. Oh no, you don't want to do another album. Well, I've already done one. Oh, well, that's all right. Put it in the safe. We'll use that later when you're fucking dead, like, you know, unfortunately. It's a horrible business. I hate the fucking thing. I won't be in it. And I think that's why some publishers have not bothered trying it on with me anymore, because I don't want it. But the thing is, you know, there is people out there that will try and go for it, thinking it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm going to be all around the world. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Well, if you do, sign a contract which is a 50-50. Don't do a 360. A 50-50 basically is whatever I earn, you earn half. If you do a 360, you don't do a mugger all, mate. You make the music, they use it, and there's always applause somewhere. They'll probably have high security to look after you. They'll probably have transport, which will cost a fortune. They'll probably have bands that they'll, you know, everything's going to cost a lot of money. So your £2 million contract, that'll probably last you a year if you're lucky, if you don't spend it. If you spend it, a bit more or pocket money in that, well, you're going to be in debt. And you're going to be in debt for the rest of your life. And this is where the record companies have got you. Okay, so now they'll say, okay, you owe us now £1 million, but if you make this album, we will take that bit off and do that. But there again, what they don't tell you is that my album now is going to cost you £3 million to make. So you're still going to be in debt by the time you finish the album. I would keep well away from the music business. That's why I do everything myself. And then never look back. Never look back. Got savings in the bank, basically. Mortgage is paid. You know, I don't need to go out there and do the job anymore. So basically, this is why I do the studio stuff for my friends and that. I mean, I could charge people to actually show you exactly how I do things, because a lot of musicians do that. They'll charge you so much to do this. Well, we know how to do, well, I know how to do all that, like, you know, so we don't need to do that. Musician guys, if you know them as friends, we help each other out, you know. But there is some people out there that will try and use that ability, what they've got, and show you exactly how it works. Oh yeah, but you've got to subscribe so much to so much and so much. No, I'm not like that. You know, it just pisses me off when like that. I mean, it's a simple way of doing things. You shouldn't have to get people to charge just to tell them how to do something. It's just ridiculous, that is. Just give it away, for God's sake. You'll get thought of a lot better that way, by just giving it away, and you'll have true fans then, so that's the thing, you'll have true fans. I run a lot of groups on Facebook, and basically I help them out as much as I can. But I don't charge them, and I don't subscribe to them or anything like that. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, that's how I do my music, and I hope that come through pretty well. Yep, that's going through all right. But for some reason, when I went on to Audacity, you wasn't able to hear the music, so I'm going to have a listen to that on the when I go into the other the office and have a listen to that, and just to see what's gone wrong on that. It could be a different setting I need to do on here. I don't know, but it's because you're actually running through Audacity, it has its own mic system. I'm thinking that when I run on Streamlabs, it has its own mic systems. Now you've got one input from the mixer that's going into the computer, and the computer's some to split the sound, so I'm thinking that that's where we're going wrong. But never mind, that's okay. I can narrate over the top of that with when I'm doing the editing, so that's an easy one. Anyway, let's play some music, shall we? What we're going to do, I don't know, let's pick some. Let's use the other camera. He says. Put that one on. Let's get that one. Okay, let's go see what we got on here. Let's go pick something at random. I do this normally with the one downstairs. Just press enter. Let's see what comes up. Ooh. 57 Chevrolet. Bit of old country and western there. You can't beat that, can you? Okay. That's coming out pretty well to me, so obviously it must be coming out pretty well to you. Let's go and pick something else. Could be anything. I'll pick anything, and I'll make something out of anything. We'll start at 1. We'll start as an intro. Let's do a bit of an intro. Let's see where we go from this. Oh, that sounds interesting. I've got an idea what I can put on this. Doing the tap tempos, just got to get it right. lot of them pads, they got some rare things on these pads. I mean, what we got on that one? Interesting. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Okay. Each different style, bloody headphones, each different style that you have, you can press these multi-pads. 4 different types of multi-pads, and each time you go to a style, which basically you just zip this thing up when it's on Music Finder and you press enter, the music pads will actually go and play something close to that sound. So you've got that this time, and this is on a loop this time. Next one here, sounds a little bit the same. That sounds even better. Sounds very close. And basically, if I go straight to the intro, press the intro light from green to red, what it means, red is the stop, basic green is ready to go. And what happens is on the main 4 variations, you have a red light flashing. You've probably seen that, red light flashing. That means it's going to start on a main 1, which is an intro of 1, which is easy enough, because as soon as I hit that chord, it'll start. Like that. I've got an idea what I'm going to do on this one. Bring in the left layer and also the left hand. And we can bring in the pad now. So we've got the old guitars strumming nicely. Okay, we can bring this one in here now. And what we do now, we will take the multi-pads off and we'll go to the next sound. And that, what that does have, I'll go into variation 2, okay? So we get into the next beat. And also we've got now a different sound on the keyboard. Bring in the left and the layer. And now we can bring some pads in. And we go into main C for the chorus. Okay, now what I do is I'll go on to the number 4 variation and I'll do a twiddly bit to confuse the algorithm. Nice ending there. Nice ending. Finger picking, that's what it says. It's a finger picking. Press the button and see what we find. Start off on form, full variation. Ooh. This sounds cool. Interesting. Wow. It could be to a soundtrack, couldn't it? Could be to a soundtrack. This is what gets me. These things are so fantastic sounding, perfect, these things are, that people have to muck about with sound quality, spend about 2 or 3 days in the studio just getting one sound. What is the point of that? Just play the bloody thing. So easy. Let's go find something else, shall we? What's that? I don't know. Until I hit that button there and that button there, I won't know. Okay, I think I'll do a share to this. wow. Dear, love it, love it, love it, love it. One more. We'll just whiz it round quite a lot. I don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to stop at. Haven't a clue. Let's try. See what we got. Dear. There you go, there you go. Oh, it's gone. There he is, it's gone, it's back again. Okay, well, thank you very much, guys. That's, I'm pleased you, oh, thank you. Pleased you enjoyed that one, and...
I love it! You guys are so great!
She's back again. Okay, over to the critics. What do you reckon, guys?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I just like that. Pretty good. Yeah, good sounds. Not bad at all. Not bad.
And I thought it was good. Yeah, I think you hit it there all right.
very nice.
And yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty well done.
Ah,
Right, pressing all these buttons, you have to get them in the right order at the right time, not necessarily in the right order, in any order. Hang on, I'm on the right one. Hello, 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 hello. Oh God, hello. I'll leave it on that one. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me. So anyway, guys, joining us. No, squeak, you bugger. Yeah, I know. I thought we were good and all. Anyway,
I love it. You guys are so great.
what you on overtime? Okay, buttons everywhere. Hit the right ones. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a lesson there of how we actually put music onto a computer. Absolutely simple, absolutely easy. You don't have to go over to an expensive studio, because all you're going to be doing then is just putting a jigsaw puzzle on the screen, moving 3 seconds here of a sound to here. Then you're going to move 3 seconds of a sound to here. Then you're going to move 3 seconds of a sound to here. That's not playing a keyboard, is it? Eh? These are keyboards, real keyboards. Not a screen with 3 seconds here, 3 seconds there, 3 seconds there. No, not sort of keen on that idea. I mean, I do use a recording studio, but I only do it with Audacity, and Audacity is a free one. You can use it for anything, really. Download it. It could do multi-tracking if you really want, and I could do multi-tracking over the top of then, but no, I think, just use what the keyboard's got. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us. I'm going to re-edit this bit. I'll check it all out, make sure we ain't got no copyright strikes, which we all do, obviously, because the damn thing is so keen on me. Likes me, I reckon. So then I have to sort of trim it out and have a bit of an argument, whatever, but we get there in the end. Watch out for the new album coming out, the 432 Relax one, which is based on the sounds of Jupiter. Now, I've been listening to NASA on their website, and the space strobes they've put on there, or close to the planet gone by. Because it's such a vicious planet, no one can actually land on it anyway, so it's all gas and that. There is no sort of surface, or no one's found it anyway. I don't think anything's survived to go there. It's very vicious and that, so I've got to try and interpretate that with my 432. It's coming along, we're getting there. And also, I'm halfway now in between, because you guys were there with the 4 tracks that I'd done today. On the WK 3800. Last week we did 3700. And that album is available still at the moment. It is now on BANDCAMP. And it also got this one, I took the single off it for this one. Christmas Joy. Christmas has just gone now. But that's what I got. I registered it down London for Christmas Joy. There you go. That's the keyboard. Not many times you get to see the right keyboard that's been played. Certainly not nowadays, because most of it's AI, and possibly studios muck about with it so much and mix things around and faff around with them. You actually never get to hear the actual sound it came from in the first place. But you do here, because everything's live and everything's real. That's going to be quite a good one. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly. That might be studio version 4, that one will, album. Okay, guys, well, thanks for joining us. I will see you soon. Take care, guys, and listen out for this one. And also, I'll be tomorrow